The first thing Adam noticed was the quiet. Cafés were never truly quiet, but this one carried a soft hum, like everyone had agreed not to raise their voices. He came there every Thursday after picking up his son from school, a small routine that made the week feel manageable. Today his son was homesick, so Adam sat alone, fingers wrapped around a cooling cup of tea, scrolling job listings he already knew he would not apply for. Being a single dad had taught him how to listen more than he spoke. When his wife passed 3 years earlier, the world had grown loud with advice and pity, and Adam had learned to survive by focusing on small things. A warm drink. A clean table. The sound of breathing that meant another person was still there with him. That was when he noticed the little girl at the next table. She was about 7, with dark hair tied into uneven pigtails and eyes that studied everything carefully. Across from her sat a woman in an elegant coat, posture straight, hands folded tightly in her lap. The woman kept glancing at her phone, then at the door, then back at the child, as if waiting for something to go wrong. The girl tried to speak, her mouth forming words that never came. She frowned, frustrated, and began moving her hands quickly. The woman shook her head, lips pressed thin. She did not understand. Adam felt a familiar pull in his chest. His late wife had been a teacher for deaf children. Years ago, Adam had learned sign language so he could help with lessons at home. He had not used it much since she died, but it lived in his hands, waiting. The girl's shoulders sagged. She looked down at the table, tracing a circle with her finger. Adam hesitated. He knew how strangers could misread kindness. Still, something stronger than caution pushed him forward. He leaned slightly toward her and signed, asking if she was bored. The girl froze. Her eyes widened, then filled with something bright and sudden. She signed back so fast Adam almost laughed, asking how he knew, asking if he was magic. He shook his head and signed that his wife taught him. The woman looked up sharply. She saw her daughter's hands moving, her face alive in a way she rarely saw in public. Then she saw Adam signing back, calm and gentle. The cafe fell silent. Chairs stopped scraping. Cups paused midair. People stared, not with cruelty, but with the strange awe that comes when something unexpected cracks open a familiar scene. The girl laughed soundlessly, her whole body shaking with joy. She signed about her school, her favorite stories, how people often talked around her instead of to her. Adam felt his throat tighten. He answered carefully, telling her she deserved to be heard. The woman stood abruptly. Adam worried he had crossed a line. Instead, she placed a hand over her mouth, eyes shining. She signed slowly, clumsily, asking who he was. Adam told her his name and apologized if he had overstepped. She shook her head. Tears slipped down her cheeks as she signed that no one had spoken to her daughter like that in public before. That was when the door opened and a tall man in a tailored suit entered, phone pressed to his ear. He stopped when he saw the crowd staring and the woman crying. His expression shifted from irritation to concern in a heartbeat. The woman turned to him and signed something quickly. The man followed her gaze to Adam. He ended the call without a word and approached. "I am sorry," the man said, voice steady but tight. "I am her father." Recognition flickered through the cafe. This was the CEO everyone in the city knew. The strange woman was his wife. Adam stood, heart pounding. He explained, expecting anger. Instead, the CEO looked at his daughter, who was still smiling up at Adam, hands moving eagerly. "She is mute," the man said quietly. "People forget she is also brilliant." Adam nodded. "She is." The CEO held Adam's gaze for a long moment. Then he extended his hand. "Thank you for seeing her." The cafe exhaled. They sat together for a while longer. The girl showed Adam her drawings. The mother watched every movement, as if memorizing the way her daughter looked when fully understood. Adam spoke about his son, about loss, about how sign language had once filled his home with laughter. Before they left, the CEO asked Adam where he worked. Adam told him the truth, that he was between jobs, that raising a child alone left little room for pride. The CEO nodded, thoughtful. "Come to my office next week," he said. "Not for charity. For a conversation." A week later, Adam did. That conversation turned into a role developing inclusive programs, something he never imagined himself doing. More importantly, it gave him purpose he thought he had lost. Months later, Adam returned to the cafe with his son. At the same table sat the girl, waving wildly when she saw him. The room did not go silent this time. Instead, people smiled. Adam realized then that kindness does not always announce itself. Sometimes it speaks with hands, and when it does, it can change everything.